Come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, and trainable, and catch this Watch Me Work Wednesday where I am helping entrepreneurs to get your assets in order. Most people will not tell you this information, but I actually do. So on today's Watch Me Work Wednesday, if you're generating traffic, but struggling to close sales, then today's session is going to change the game for you. I'll be showing you real examples of how to structure your domain, optimize the customer touch points, and to track conversions in real time. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and roll this intro for you guys who don't know who I am or what it is I do or how to get in contact with me so that you cannot say you don't know. And now I am ensuring that you do. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Bridge-Overton here, updating you about our daily live training and follow-up live open office hours. Join me every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live actionable lessons on building your brand from scratch. We'll cover everything from tools, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, GoHighLevel, AI technology, and more, to include the exact steps to take you from confused to confident. And the best part is after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. Don't miss out. Mark your calendar and subscribe now to this YouTube channel. Join our free community, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up your automation in your MLM company, or as an entrepreneur who could possibly be struggling in your business, we not only have the solution, we also have the experts. Yes, this is your sign to join us. Our entire team is live each weekday. So if you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you now know you need to do to get your assets in order. Yes. So come on into the room, be coachable, teachable, trainable, post your city and state so that I can see where our value is influencing and impacting in these internet streets. My name is Brandmaster Martina Bridge-Overton, and I'm your cash flow queen and founder of the #1 legal tax hack to hire your kids in your own home-based business. So should you choose to do so. And typically you'll catch me live each and every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, giving value with regards to branding and helping you guys to get your assets in order so you can go from being stuck and struggling inside of that company, inside of that business's brand, and you can begin to gain impact and influence inside of your own personal brand so you can attract the people that need what it is that you have to offer. So on today's Watch Me Work Wednesday, the topic is how to use your domain effectively in customers' conversions. So we've actually already briefed, if you happen to miss it, we've already briefed on this particular platform the last several weeks. First weekend, we talked about how to use your domain effectively in social media. The second weekend, in lead generation. And this Wednesday, this Wednesday, we're talking about customer conversion. So in my introduction, I did make it apparent that if you are generating traffic, yay, congratulations to you, but you're struggling to close sales, then today should change the game for you if you follow the directive, okay? So in a moment, I'm going to have some on-screen information. I thought you being able to look at this is a little bit more attractive to you versus watching my bubble bounce, but here we are. You can watch the bubble bounce. What I want you guys to understand is that this is how the game goes. So if you have come to today's Watch Me Work Wednesday and you don't yet have in place why you are here, I would love it if you guys could press pause and you could actually think for a moment why you're here. Why is it that you come to Watch Me Work Wednesdays? Why is it that you watch this information? And if you are currently not subscribed, please do me that favor really, really quickly and subscribe right down there below. So yes, I aided some of you and I gave you the correct spelling. Subscribe below so that you can get access to the notifications when you select the bell that go out to let you know that this content is live. Now, those of you who press pause and you've come back to it, I hope you have written down what it is that you desire to get from each and every one of these trainings, why you're here to learn specifically about using your domain effectively in customer conversions, so that as you begin to go through this process, you pull up your screen, you press pause, you begin to implement these steps, that it makes sense for you. I don't want you wasting your time. If you have come here and you're watching this, and you're in the third week and you haven't done the first or the second week, then press pause. Go back and watch those. This information, God willing, will still be here on this amazing platform, YouTube, and you guys can continue to follow the sequence. And if you're watching on LinkedIn and Facebook, thank you as well. But I don't want you continuing to watch these segments and watch these series if you're not going to do the required information, if you're not going to implement the steps, because you're wasting time. And I, of course, do not want you to waste any of your time. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's see if I can get my streams organized over here, get a couple of slides in place. So as I begin to share the screen, you guys can see what it is that I need for you to see. So the first thing I want to make sure I cover is that you understand branding from a domain perspective, okay? And I'm going to recap very briefly because I really want you to go watch in detail the information where we talked about that domain in social media and that domain in lead gen, okay? But let's see. On my end, share screen. We want to share that screen. Let's make sure the volume is off so we don't get double sound. And let's pull us on screen here. Okay. So if I remove this small banner that I have at the top, this overlay that I have at the top, you guys will be able to see here my branded domain. Okay. So Martina Britt Yelverton, that is the base domain that we're going to discuss on today. All right. And the reason that we're going to discuss that base domain is so that you get clarity on what specifically that means. That base domain, if you have not taken the opportunity to watch anything about branding, please, please, please ensure that you do that. You can actually go over to SWB, Simplified Web Brand, SWB. And when you go over to SWB, it is going to land you on a page that is from YouTube. So I'll type it in here for you, swb.martinabrittyelverton.com. Okay. You guys can see the little drop down up there. You probably can't because my banner's up again, isn't it? All right, there we go. SWB, you see it right here, swb.martinabrittyelverton.com. That is the sub portion of the main domain, Martina Britt Yelverton. When you enter that, that's going to take you over here to this YouTube channel, and it's going to give you extensive information about a brand, domain, and any of the specifics of a domain. If you don't want to sit through the entire hour training that I did for you guys, giving you this value, then go down into the description and actually hit here on the left-hand side, any of these timestamps for you to specifically see what it is you're looking for. And yes, I've utilized the word brand. And if you have no idea what a brand is, then I'm going to ask you to go to SPB. That is Simplified Print Brand, right? See the subdomain here for the main domain, and you're going to enter it, and that's going to take you to the first portion of this where there is another almost hour training here, and in the body you can actually go through Q1, 2, and 3 and actually understand the print brand. Okay, then you can flow back if you'd like and come and understand more about the web brand in Q4, 5, and 6. Okay, so that will give you what it is that you need to understand branding. All right. And I keep going over that because people are asking me questions about branding that I know that I've covered extensively. And so not to waste your time or my time and make you sit through my long explanation, come and watch the video and watch it at your pace, okay? Because this is not just about looking professional. It's actually about guiding potential clients, customers, prospects through a smooth journey. A buying journey, yes, but through a smooth journey, because people like simplicity. They will turn away from complexity, all right? So most businesses will fail because their customer journey is confusing. Ask me how I know. I was there. I did it. I'm trying to help you not do it, all right? Because the audience doesn't know where to go and there's no clear next step, they get distracted before they even convert. And what I mean by convert is buy. They get distracted before they even buy. So here is the fix. Utilize your subdomains, which are unlimited, literally unlimited, and use those based on the domain that's branded to you, not to your company, not to your business. Why? Because when you base it on you, if that company changes its links, which happen, that's a fact. I don't have to make it up. I've experienced it, and so have you if you're being honest. When the company changes its links, it messes up anything that you have in place as a part of your funnel system, as a part of your customer retention management system, as a part of the sequence that you have set up, because you have it set up based on their domains, their subdomains, their URLs, their addresses that you don't control. So what you want to do is get some sense of control and streamline the path from their interest to their purchase by using your subdomains to create that path for them, okay? Now, there's some information that we're going to utilize today that I have not utilized before, and you guys are going to see me do that on screen in real time, and we will hope it all goes well, okay? That's the point of watching me work through this process, and we'll get to that in just a moment. But what I want you to do, and please forgive the doggies if you hear them snoring. For some reason, they decided to be loud with their sleeping today. All right, so if I'm showing you a subdomain use, right, to show you this page and this information, whether it's a checkout page, a demo page, or a consultation form, I'm using a subdomain so I can walk you through the journey. So this is the main page. Instead of sending someone here to the general website's homepage, I'm going to use a specific domain for each step of the journey to actually make sure a person goes from point 1 to 3. And I mean that is 1 TO3, from step number 1 through number 2 into step 3, to make sure that the journey goes from interest to answers to purchase. Okay, so that it goes from I'm interested in getting something and you've delivered it to me. Okay, so let's show you some sense of what that could look like. A person who's interested in booking an appointment with me, they may say, hey, Martina, how do I book with you? And I can say, hey, if you'll go over to consult.martinabrittyoverton.com, that's going to take you to, from you telling me you're interested to how do I book an appointment with you. That is going to bring you here to book this appointment. Okay, so you end up here, you pick or choose a time, you go through the process of, okay, we're going to say 3:30 on the 25th. I've selected the date, and then it's going to give you some information about booking this appointment. This is a client entry, interest. This is the information I need you to complete. This is the way that you would pay for that particular appointment, right? Once you pay for this appointment, it's going to automatically prompt you into completing an assessment. So let's go and act as if you have created that appointment. It's going to immediately take you to assessment.martinabrittyoverton.com, where it is going to require you to complete an assessment. You don't have to know that. The system will take you again from interest, as you just saw on the last one, to purchase on the last one. Now, what is your next step? To complete the assessment. When you finish this assessment, it's going to send me a notification that you've completed the assessment. Now, you are awaiting your appointment time, right? In my system, it's going to send you what you need to be prepared for the appointment, right? So that you have everything you need. I have all the answers I need, and we get to that end result. Let's use another example. If I've told you that I'm going to give you all of the SMART goal steps that you need to create your vision, or at least the first steps of your vision, and I say that I have that available for you at smartgoals.martinabrittyoverton.com, that is going to land you on this particular page. You're going to enter your email address and your full name, and you're going to proceed through checkout. It's going to give you the access you need to log into your own portal to watch the mini class. And inside of that mini class, you will also have the availability to download a checklist. So let's show you what that would look like. So it's going to land you in your portal. You're going to end up here inside of your 7 steps to reaching your SMART goals. And you're going to be able to go through all of the SMART goal steps. And on each step, it's going to give you access to a PDF checklist that you can actually go through as you complete the process. Again, taking you from interest to purchase, even though it was a free purchase. Okay. So when someone clicks your link, they should land exactly where they need to be with no distractions. This reduces the drop-off rate, and it increases your conversion because there's no unnecessary clicks between their interest and their purchase. Okay. So you guys just saw when I pulled up the actual appointment calendar, you pick your time, you enter your information, you enter your payment information, you check out. There's no unnecessary clicks in between point A and point B. Okay. So I hope I have made that portion of this information really, really clear. You put the information out there, you have a clear call to action, they land where you want them to land. We put the information out there on a Watch Me Work Wednesday in week 2. We gave everybody the link from that Watch Me Work Wednesday, and I'll make sure that it's plugged in again in the body in the description of this as well, which is lpchecklist.martinabrittyoverton.com. You're not going to get that link on the other Tuesday through Friday trainings, but here on Watch Me Work Wednesday, you will. You go and you land on the landing page here. It says download your free checklist. You guys know you have to key in your information. Send my freebie now. It lands in your email, right? They receive what it is that they need to receive. But then I also say, hey there, thanks for investing in you. Want to make a move to level up. Then I give them other things that align with that lead magnet, that landing page, and the email sequence that I have discussed all week with regards to domains and social media, lead generation, and today customer conversions. This is how you convert a customer. No distracting, confusing anything. Point A to point B to point C. Point 1 to point 2 to point 3. I hope that makes sense. Now, let's talk about what we're discussing and the real-time information I want to share on today. And hopefully going through this, it's not a problem. That is a point of customer conversion and what that tracking looks like. Okay. So I am going to utilize a new option that I've never used before. We're going to see if we can walk through getting it set up and what it looks like. It's called tracking the conversion using UTM parameters. Okay. So I had never really understood or heard of what UTM parameters were. And so I wanted to know what it was. So what did I say? Okay, Susan, you've given me this amazing option here. And you say for me to use UTM parameters, and you say for me to walk them through tracking conversions. Okay. So then my question was, let's see if I can say in here. Automate tracking and reporting to save time. How would that action be achieved, Susan? So that's one of the things I asked her. I believe I also asked her, yep, right here. I said, hey, girl, it looks good. You've asked me to do this in customer conversions. Can you break down a script for how I would deliver the content? Yay or yay. In the process of that, she went through talking about right here, tracking conversions, UTM parameters. You know, your girl had never heard of it before. So I said, okay, how do you do that? And then I asked her to explain what that is. And I believe I did it above this or after this, but I asked her what that meant. What is a UTM parameters? And I don't see where in here that I asked her at, but I did ask her, and she had to go through and explain it. So I may have done it in the YouTube strategy. Let's see. Maybe I asked her in here, but I did ask her to explain it because I didn't quite understand what she meant by UTM parameters. Okay. So understand when you're using this, don't just do what it tells you to do. If it tells you to do something that you do not understand, ask Susan or your chat GPT, whatever you've named her, what exactly did you mean by that? What exactly does that mean? So that you can make sure as you're giving the information, it makes sense. So here in the UTM parameters, I'm going to show you guys how it asked me to go through this. And I feel like I want to say on last week's, we discussed it because I have it here in my notes, but I don't see it here in chat. So that means I asked her and then I took it out of chat and put it in my notes, and I will find that because as I use this terminology, I want to make sure I'm saying what it is that I'm saying and that you understand and comprehend what I'm saying. Okay. I hope that makes sense. Okie dokie. And so since I could not locate where those particular notes are, I just went back to Susan just now and said, okay, girl, look, Susan, somewhere in here, I asked you to explain UTM parameters, didn't I? And she was like, yes, you previously did. So guys, UTM parameters are the urgent tracking module parameters. And that means that it's a short text or a code to help you track where the website the website traffic is coming from. So we're going to use my main link, martinabrittyoverton.com. And instead of using the subdomain portion of that alone, right, because I know inside of my tracking platform, I'm available to see, you know, where the traffic is, how many people landed on this particular LP tracking page and all of that. However, not everybody has the sophisticated system that I'm still learning. Some people want to utilize a free system like Google's availability to track using a campaign URL builder. And I'm going to walk you through, possibly, we're going to hope everything goes well, and I'm going to walk you through how that's done. Why? Because we've cleared the pathway for our customers, but we want to know, how do we track what's actually happening and what's actually working? So instead of sending them people to just this plain link, right, we're going to create a trackable version with UTM parameters. And the reason we're going to do that, again, is because we want to know how this is working. So if you want to know more about how do UTM parameters work, you're available to go down and look through this information that I have here. And it's saying that when someone clicks on a UTM tagged link, their link data is sent to my analytics tool. So that means it's sent inside of either my GHL or it's sent inside of an ads manager. If you're using that, whether it's YouTube, Google ads, or Facebook ads, it's sent in there and it allows you to see where your leads and the traffic comes from, right? Each parameter represents a different tracking categories, right? And then this talks here in a campaign builder, this is what we're going to do, right? How to utilize that, because this particular option is a free campaign URL builder inside of Google Campaign URL Builder. So we're going to try and see if we see it. But before we do that, I do want to show you that you do have this option available inside of your system. If you happen to have a sophisticated system like GHL, let's see if I can pull that over and get into that page just to show you specifically where this is located. I'm going to click over and go over to my funnels here. off screen. Going to go inside of my projects here, and I'm going to pull up this landing page for you to see what those specific stats would look like and be like. Okay, so here they are inside of it. And if I were to go here inside of stats, it would allow me to see that here on that specific homepage, out of the 17 visits, 3 of them were unique. Out of the 13 opt-ins, that's a 433%, turnaround. They ended up and landed on the thank you page. Of the 17, 7 clicked through. And these are some of the stats that we are available to see here inside of our sophisticated system in GHL to see what our opt-in rates are. Now on this one, of course, we didn't have anything to buy, so that's why you don't see the orders and the buy and anything like that. But this is a way you can see, hey, this is converting on its level or another. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So what we want to do now is actually open up a separate link here according to our handy dandy notes that we're following, and you guys are going to watch me work through this. What it says that we need to do this. So you can access Google's campaign URL builder app. And so let's open that up in a new tab and see if we can get the thing to work. So it's going to bring us over here to Google Analytics, its demos and tools, campaign URL builder, and this is how we're going to build it, okay? So specifically to what we have inside of our notes here, it says that we're going to be able to utilize the UTM codes to actually see and track which platforms drive the most conversions inside of our business, okay? So again, we're using the Google Analytics. We're going to show you the real campaign information, and you're going to use different platforms for each of the areas you want to see and know which one would convert best. So you can have multiple sources, okay, of where you could have one source in your GoHighLevel lead page. You could have another source if you're running a Facebook ad. And you could have another source if you happen to be running a Google ad, okay? This way you're able to see which one is going to convert best. So you're going to set up a different source for each of the options. As of right now, I'm not running any ads, so I may not be able to walk this through to completion, but I do know currently the only touch point you're available to get this information from is through the Watch Me Work Wednesdays. That is the only source. However, I do have that same link on Facebook, the same link on LinkedIn, and the same link on YouTube. However, that is the only link that I'm provided. So it would be able to give you the only source of information as far as what I understand about this. I hope that makes sense for you guys. But again, if you have it in multiple places, you would set this up for that in multiple places. So let's pull this over here so that I can see the way we're going to set this up, and let's see if we can figure this thing out. So steps to use the Google campaign. We've opened this up in a separate link here, and it's saying enter the website URL, input the URL of the page that you want to track. You guys already know the page that we want to track, of course, is the LP checklist. So let's go ahead and grab that bit of information there, and let's copy that, and let's put that URL in there. So this is the one that we want to use, the ads campaign ID. We don't have that, but thank God it's not a required field because we don't have that. So the referral we're just going to say is the LP checklist funnel. The marketing medium for that is we're going to say is a funnel. The campaign for that is checklist. I think it's free checklist. And then any additional keywords or whatever we would want to put for that. Again, this is a required field. We don't have a campaign ID for it. The campaign source is LP checklist funnel. It says that it should be an example Google newsletter. So I want to just say, let's do GHL LP checklist funnel. All right, campaign medium, the marketing medium. This is a required field. Example, we know it's just the funnel. The campaign name we know is LP free checklist. We already set that up. We don't have to put any campaign keywords, and we're not using any differentiate ads. All right, so that would give us Share this generated campaign URL. Use this URL in any promotional channels you want to be associated with this campaign. All right, so this would mean this is the UTM parameters that it gave me, and I could select to copy that, right? I could also shorten it if I wanted to, but we already know that it's actually attached to my subdomain. So what I'm assuming I would do is I would actually take this link now, and this is the link that I would actually put on my LP checklist.martinabrittyoverton.com. So if I wanted to track this campaign's activity, this is where it would land at. Okay, that is the way I'm understanding this. So for the purpose of us trying this out, let's go over and let's enter it and see what it do, baby. So let's get logged in over here to this domain. And let's set it up and see what happens, y'all. And so we're going to go into our domain settings. You guys have seen me do this multiple times before. This should not look unfamiliar to you. For those who are brand new, never seen me go through how to set up a subdomain before, this should look very unfamiliar to you. But we're going to go into our DNS settings. We're going to go into our forwarding parameters. We're going to extend this to about 50 so we can see what we need to see. And we're going to scroll down until we get to page 2 and the LP checklist, and we're going to update what we already have there. So currently under, oh gosh darn, you know what? I have pulled this out and I have actually attached it directly inside of the funnel here in domains. So let me press pause for just a moment and think through what I may need to do differently for this area. So I'm really going to have to run through this in my mind and maybe even ask my coach, because currently we have this LP checklist actually attached directly to our funnel. So all of the analytics that I've just showed you are currently the analytics that I know are available to see how many people are clicking that link and coming to it through GHL. So going in and setting up a secondary campaign for this checklist may not be the best option. So I want to run that question by her and maybe follow up on next week's Watch Me Work Wednesday to see if I'm able to show you guys any additional data for tracking the customer conversions to this extent. Because again, I've already shown you we're able to track the conversion inside of our system. But once we go outside of our system and we use the Google Analytics, I'm not sure that that is a step that actually makes sense, because the only way that we could utilize this link is if we actually went in here and we created a second funnel. But again, I mean, not a second funnel, a second forwarding where we maybe set up free checklist, right? No, free LP, we want to stay branded. Free LP checklist, right? And we want to plug that URL in here. And you guys know why I use temporary. And we want to save this one. So if we're going to do this so that we have Google Analytics tracking, we would have to set it up with a new subdomain that leads to the main subdomain. And then we would be able to track the information here versus inside of GHL. We'd have to set up a new subdomain because, as I showed, your current subdomain is already connected. And as you see, if we go into the edit capabilities, you only have the option to connect it to a direct page. So we're going to make sure Susan is updated based on the information that I just shared with you, that actually if the page is connected inside GHL, and I'm going to confirm them with our coach, because remember, my job is branding. I'm just showing you some of the other bells and whistles that would come along with how to make the best and most effective use of the domains and subdomains that you have inside of your branding. I want to verify that information for a secondary measure to actually get the tracking availability is viable and honestly is necessary. Okay, because as of right now, based on what we have going on here, I don't feel it's necessary to set up a second form of tracking. Okay, so I know the next thing that I wanted to discuss with you was optimizing this checkout area, making sure that you have some sense of follow up to all of this. We discussed that in the email sequence that you have follow up, but I also want to make sure that we go to what the next step would be a call to action as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to save that additional information for next Wednesday's segment, which we already know is how to use your domain effectively in your brand for clarity, because this will be able to this will bring it all home. This will bring it all into one, concise area for you guys. And I feel that by then I also have the answer that could assist with if it's necessary to have that secondary measure placed on a Google Analytics in place of what you already have inside your agency app, your GHL Analytics, to see if it's even necessary. Okay. But the bottom line of what we discussed today is foundationally necessary. And that is, please avoid clutter and confusion from the customer or the prospect's perception. Keep everything as clean as you possibly can to ensure they're going from point A to point B to getting exactly what it is that they need to get. So I do want to ask the question, just to, kind of find out, is the information that you were given today, did it answer the question that you had with regards to customer conversions? Now, we did move a little bit in tracking, but before tracking, did the information give you some clarity on how you actually need to set up your domains and subdomains to drive higher customer conversions? I hope that your answer is yes. I hope that it makes sense to you. I hope that you are excited to go in and utilize your subdomains, that you understand that the process of customer conversion is extremely important, that you need to utilize your domains and your subdomains and social media, that you do need to lead generate with those subdomains, that you do and you can see how your customers are converting, whether you choose to track it or not. You want to be able to see that they are converting, and being able to utilize a system inside of your GHL account will automatically track it for you. But you do need to know that there are some free options out there that you could utilize. And one of the ways you can do it is by setting up the information that actually came from that free campaign through Google Analytics, taking that particular link and plugging that particular link on a subdomain inside of your system, and then going back. Once it begins to generate content for you to see, you're available to actually see and measure and, be able to understand the analytics of whether or not that particular conversion for that link that you set up is actually working. I hope that makes sense for you guys. I hope you found value in this today. And I am excited to see you on next Wednesdays. Watch Me Work Wednesday as we close out with how to use your domain effectively in your brand for clarity. Hey y'all, hey, Brandmaster Martina Britt-Overton here, updating you about our daily live training and follow-up live open office hours. Join me every Tuesday through Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for live actionable lessons on building your brand from scratch. We'll cover everything from tools, strategies, and systems like Canva, StreamYard, GoHighLevel, AI technology, and more, to include the exact steps to take you from confused to confident. And the best part is, after each live stream, you can hop on Zoom with us to ask your questions and get personalized answers. Don't miss out. Mark your calendar and subscribe now to this YouTube channel. Join our free community, and I'll say it louder for the people in the back. If you want to learn, lead, and level up your automation in your MLM company, or as an entrepreneur who could possibly be struggling in your business, we not only have the solution, we also have the experts. Yes, this is your sign to join us. Our entire team is live each weekday. So if you snooze, you will lose. I said what I said. You heard what you heard. Now do what you now know you need to do to get your assets in order.